Доброго вечора, ми з України.
Здравствуйте, дорогие товарищи. Hello everyone and welcome back to Ushanka Show, stories about life in the Soviet Union. As you may already figure out, in today's video we're going to talk about Soviet cars. We're going to talk about VAZ Zhiguli. A while back I already recorded a video about this car. It's called the most desirable Soviet car, VAZ Zhiguli, aka Lada. I also made another video in which I discussed why Soviet people had to wait 9 years to buy a Lada car. But in today's video we're going to discuss why were Soviet cars so expensive, like eye-watering level expensive. For those who are not aware, Soviet VAZ Zhiguli 2101 model is actually carbon copy of Fiat 124 because back in late 1960s the Soviet government purchased the whole shebang, factory, technology, design, equipment, and they brought that factory and installed it in Tolyatti in Soviet Russia. Personally, I find quite bizarre that the country that harnessed nuclear power, the country that sent first satellite into space, didn't know how to design and make and mass produce a car. So they end up purchasing from Italians design as well as the factory. I remember that someone commented that it actually was a great idea. Why would you waste your resources in engineering and time designing a car when you can just purchase the whole thing and then you use your engineering resources for more important things? But this is like telling that I copy someone else's homework because I save my own time for doing something more important. It just doesn't make any sense. Fun fact, before 1970, before the Italian Fiat factory began producing Soviet VAZ cars, Soviet Union manufactured only 200,000 cars per year. So the largest country in the world with population around 150 million people managed to manufacture only 200,000 cars per year. And I just looked it up and it looks like in the United States in 1969 it was close to between 7 to 8 million passenger cars were produced while Soviet Union produced 200,000. The person that was behind purchasing Fiat factory was Alexei Kosygin, and he actually deserves a separate video, probably even several videos, because he was the driving force in the 60s and 70s for the economic reforms in the Soviet Union, which failed pathetically. But it was his idea to buy that car factory, and there was two reasons behind it. So Kosygin was trying to kill two birds with one stone. This Fiat factory was capable of manufacturing 1 million cars per year. So Soviet car manufacturing jumped from 200,000 in 1969 to 1,200,000 in 1971. So that's quite a jump, right? But the second reason, and it maybe was the main reason, Alexei Kosygin was very concerned about growing amount of savings among the Soviet people. Since there were not enough goods to purchase, people were just putting money in the Sberbank, and government saw that that amount was growing and growing. So, like a sick body that has a poor blood flow, Soviet economy was kind of like that. Since there was not enough product for people to buy, they were just stashing that cash away. So he wanted to remove that excess cash by offering a quality car for a lot of money. Okay, some of you may mention, Sergey, are you kidding me? You can't call Fiat cars quality cars because Fiat stands for Fix It Again Tony, but any Soviet car was so behind in quality compared to Fiat 124, VAZ 2101, so that was totally next level. So let's look at the Zhiguli prices. When VAZ Zhiguli was first manufactured in 1971, retail price was 5,150 rubles, and it was steadily rising over the years. In 1975, it was already 5,620 rubles. In 1983, it was 6,400 rubles. And some of the models, not exactly 2101, but like for example 2107, in 1983 was 9,000 rubles. Now compare the price of 5,150 rubles to the average salary in 1971, which was about 120 rubles per month. It was growing, of course, and by mid of 1980s was about 150, 180 rubles per month, but still let's see how many months an average person had to work in the Soviet Union to make enough money to buy a car. So based on 1971 salary of 120 rubles per month and the cost of the car of 5,150 rubles, average person had to work 43 months, almost 3.5 years, to earn enough money to buy that car. Now think about your monthly salary and times it 43, and this is how much you would have to pay, kind of comparing apples to apples, for this basic car with manual transmission, no air conditioning, manual windows and everything else. For example, for a person that takes home $2,000 per month, which is pretty low for America, it's $86,000 car price. Of course, if you make $5,000 a month, it's pushing over 200K. But now the fun part. So in 1980, the cost of manufacturing VAZ 2101 was 1,659 rubles. The wholesale price was 1,974 rubles. So on every car, the factory was earning 315 rubles. So about margin was close to almost 20%. I mean, General Motors will be probably thrilled if they will be making 20% profit on every car they manufactured. So factory was doing pretty good, right? As I mentioned earlier, in 1983, government was selling this car to the public at the price of 6,400 rubles. So you buy a car at the factory for pretty much 2,000 rubles and you sell to the population for 6,400 rubles, making 4,426 rubles on every car. So if you make 1 million cars, we're talking 4 billion rubles profit every year for the government. I mean, we're talking real margin right there, right? And as I mentioned in my previous video about Рассрочка, extended payment plans for the Soviet consumers, cars had to be purchased for cash. There was no credit available, no extended payments. People had to bring cash to purchase the car. So government wanted their money right away. And they were making a lot of money. And even in this situation, when the cars were so ridiculously expensive, people still had to wait up to 9 years to purchase this car. And then, of course, you could resell right away for double the price for people who had money but didn't have time. And the Soviet Union was probably the only country in the world when used cars were more expensive than new cars because it didn't involve 9 years of waiting. Still, many Soviet families didn't even dream about buying a car because they just couldn't afford it. For example, my family, both parents working full-time, both parents union members, they managed to save in 20 years of their marriage about 5,000 rubles, which was almost enough to buy one car. So all their marriage, 20-some years, they managed to save enough money just for one car. And while we're on the topic of VAZ Zhiguli cars, I want to tell you this fun fact. So usually the name of the factory was based on the name of the city where the factory is located. For example, GAZ was located in Gorky, so it's a Горьковский автомобильный завод, Gorky Automotive Factory, GAZ. ZAZ was located in Zaporozhye, so that's Zaporozhский автомобильный завод, ZAZ. The only exception was VAZ. VAZ was located in Tolyatti, so technically it should be called TAZ, Тольяттинский автомобильный завод, Tolyatti Automotive Factory. But because TAZ means Russian word wash tub, and usually they say, well, that's a real TAZ, like it's metal, it's not a quality item, really cheap. So they decided to call the factory VAZ because it was located on the Volga River, not TAZ. It's kind of fun thing. Another fun fact about Soviet car ownership. In the 80s, there were 12 million cars in the Soviet Union, so about one car for 20 people. I wonder how many million of cars were in the United States at that time. Okay, my friends, that's all I have for today. Please don't forget to support this channel with your likes, with your comments, and we'll talk to you soon. До свидания. Goodbye.
Andres Romero Laguna. Jorge Torres.
My name is Erin Stoffel. I'm from Canada.
Hello, my name is Mr. Jewish. I'm from Lebanon.
Good morning, my name is Zachary. I'm from
My name is Sarah Lahan, I'm from Jordan.
Good morning, my name is Alan Moore. I'm from Canada.
Hi, my name is Michal. I'm from Bulgaria.
Hello, my name is Miguelina Fuentes, and I am from Mexico.
Hi, my name is Rosa Umerovich. I'm from Bosnia.
Hi, my name is Emil Lutovic. I'm from Bosnia.
Hi, my name is Mayra Durakovic, and I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina. Hi, my name is Fatima Kenik. I'm from Bosnia.
Hi, my name is Benjamin Kanik, and I'm from Bosnia.
My name is Dino Dovitovic, and I'm from Bosnia.
Hi, my name is Benedict from Bosnia.
Hi, my name is Linda Cloud, and I'm from Canada, and I can vote!
Hi, my name is Marisela Pascual, and I'm from Mexico.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Hernandez, and I'm from Guatemala.
Hi, my name is Aline Peterson, and I'm from Latvia, and I have waited years to become a citizen. And I'm proud today to become a citizen with tears to my eyes.
Hi, I'm Carmela Robles from Philippines.
I'm Jeffrey. I came from Ukraine.
Morning, I'm Rick Northrop. I'm from Canada.
Good morning, this is Executive Gregori coming here.
Good morning, this is Mahesh Nekhani, born in India.
Now I'm going to ask all of our new citizens to please stand and raise your right hand, and I will.
Sergey wrote a book based on diaries he made when he was first in the United States. And as I understand, this is just volume 1, right?
That's correct.
He's going to have multiple volumes coming out. Well, I said, well, since Sergey is kind enough to come up and speak with us, I bought the book. I said, I might as well read this. I read this in one sitting. 2 hours, 2.5 hours. I just couldn't put it down. It was so fascinating because your writing is very compelling, for one. And his story is very interesting for two. It's really interesting. You know, we've lived here our whole lives. We don't have that perspective. It's just so interesting to hear someone else's perspective about what we take for granted. So I hope you really tune in and listen to what he has to say. It's a very interesting, very informed perspective. Sergey is not a historian. He's an electrical engineer by trade, but I find that he has a depth of understanding on history, economics, culture. So just a very observant fellow and a great storyteller. So like